Why is it colonization, gentrification when we come back to where we came from? But when African immigrants come into our communities, pushing us out. So I've been ready to let this matter rest, but then I got this epistle in my inbox. About your video on the African Americans moving to Ghana. Why is it colonization, gentrification when we come back to where we came from? But when African immigrants come into our communities, pushing us out while simultaneously bullying us in our own cultures, that's not colonization and gentrification. I never said that it couldn't happen in the reverse. My video was a specific response to a video that an African American woman did and issues raised by people from Ghana. I never said that it didn't happen in reverse. In fact, there is established research that shows that the gentrification happens by African, Caribbean, Black immigrants from all over the world, happens in the United States. There's established research on that. So I never said that it wasn't. African people are 100% worse about uprooting African American spaces and tearing down African American culture. Your argument seems very uneducated. A big part of the problem is that African Americans will readily admit that when Black immigrants move into their spaces, they have the ability to gentrify and to displace them from their communities. Yet you seem to have a problem with realizing that African American immigrants who move into other Black countries can do the same thing. And this is what I mean when I say some African Americans can move into spaces and act like colonizers. Not all of you, but some of you. Because you don't seem to have the ability to realize that you should respect other people's spaces the way you're demanding that people should respect yours. Why are you acting as if you have some God-given right to a place in Africa, talking about where you come from? There is nothing that would propel me as a Jamaican to go down there, to go to the continent, anywhere in Africa, and claim that, okay, this is where I came from, and so I should be given some kind of exceptional welcome because this is where I came from, with no regard for the people who are living there. Incidentally, that is what is happening in Gaza right now. African Americans who are moving back to Africa are the ones that are being pushed out of their home by immigrants and white people. It just seems that the rest of the diaspora will never understand African American soul and people and our culture. And many of you only have the experience of people moving into you. So your arguments are valid and you understand what it feels like when people move into your space and displace you. Why then don't you see that it's a problem when you move into other people's places and displace them? All these arguments are valid. And I am saying that it happens also when you move into other spaces and displace people in the global south. So many of you in my comments lack the ability to understand that what you are talking about, some of you also do. And therein lies the problem. Because when the big fire happened in Hawaii and everyone was very vocal about Oprah owning thousands of acres, displacing the native people in Hawaii, everybody understood exactly that that was colonization. But people are in my comments defending their ability to take the US dollar and go into global south countries because your family came from there hundreds of years ago and buy up property and raise the price for everything and displace the local people because you have some birthright to that place. What does that sound like to you? Because the uneducated person that you're talking to who has studied migration, I know what it sounds like to me.